This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of October 2nd, 2017. Just in the past few days, the energy has radically shifted. Maybe you feel optimism again, maybe you feel sprung from a trap, but there is a sense of movement being possible. And in fact, the month of October is going to give us many opportunities to do something about all of the fiery energies that erupted at the end of the summer. Now, don't fool yourself. Reality as we knew it isn't going to come back around again. We are moving more fully into whatever is passing for reality at this point in our existence and figuring out ways that we're going to navigate it and work it to our benefit. There's a multi-step process playing out this week that begins with stripping down what's most important to us and getting to the core. Maybe some ghosts will pop up or some monsters in an early appearance of Halloween. Some psychological demons could be rushing to the surface, but the point of all of it, and it's not going to all be bad, the point of all of it is stripping down to what really matters most to you and deciding that you have got to have that. The decision may not at all be rational at first, but it does come to consciousness and become quite intellectual, rational, mental by the end of the week when Venus and Mars have a conjunction in the sign of Virgo. Venus rules our social relationships, it rules our desires, what we want, what we value, our attitudes about money and our own worth. And Mars rules how we go about getting what we want. It's our drive, our motivation, and to be honest, our sex drive as well. And they're in the incredibly mental, picky, analytical, evaluative, fault-finding, improvement-oriented, detail-focused sign of Virgo. So not necessarily going to be a hot and heavy date this year for the cosmic lovers, but they are getting on the same page. They are coming out of all of this chaos that we have been through and coming up with a unified vision of how we're going to go forward. And their meeting happens right around the Aries full moon, which occurs on the 5th. And this full moon lights up the challenge of getting along with other people, living with others, and being an individual. And definitely the weight is on the side of I gotta be me. An Aries full moon tends to be high energy, boisterous, rambunctious, maybe even a little angry or combative, but maybe not so much this time. Mars is determined in the sign of Virgo. Our hearts are aligned with all of these decisions, and there's kind of an unapologetic, almost cold approach. Like, nope, this is the way it is. Bam, I'm moving in this direction. So there could be goodbyes, there could be realizations of who really doesn't get you, where things just aren't working for you, and you could start making plans with the people who do dovetail really nicely with your unique beat. This full moon also brings its own kind of pressure because the sun and the moon are both bearing down on Pluto in Capricorn, repeating the cardinal tectonic groundbreaking shifts that have been rocking our world since about 2008 and really strongly since 2010, 2012, 2014. You can just see how it's been ramping up and ramping up. There are areas of your life that used to have solid ground that have been torn up and where you have been rebuilding where you place your feet. Structures, infrastructures, institutions, long-term goals, family relationships, all of those things have been shifting and shifting and shifting into new formats, into new paradigms, and this full moon has another round of evolutionary growth in that department. It may not at all be painful or dramatic because of the Venus-Mars conjunction in Virgo. Again, there is likely a matter-of-factness about all of this and an unapologetic streak. Again, nope, this is the way it is now. I'm going this way. And everything around you pretty much has to change where it is. It's a truism of therapy, as I mentioned in my Aries full moon forecast, that when one person in a system changes, everything else in the system has to rearrange in response. This is one of those moments. By the end of the weekend, we find ourselves exploring containers, containment, limits, structures. There could be a demand to commit. You could see really strongly where the limitations are in something you want to do. You could find yourself challenged to put up or shut up or put a ring on it. Whatever that means to you, symbolically or literally, there is great mental clarity that comes with this. However, because Mercury and the Sun are making a conjunction in the sign of Libra, so we understand our own relationship needs, paradigm, dynamics, rules better, and there's a good communication vibe and flow with this. So we could be talking things through very seriously with important people in our lives, not having arguments, but everybody much clearer about, okay, now I see what's really important. What are we going to do about this? Maybe with an air of cleanup. So I would say this bodes very well for moving forward in the different hurricane-ravaged and earthquake-ravaged portions of the world right now. People finally organizing rescue and cleanup missions a lot better, and that's a metaphor for something in your own life as well. Homing thought of the week: I am making healthy choices. Song of the week: it's turning into an oldie but goodie, A Change in Me from the musical Beauty and the Beast. And the image of the week is coming out of a disaster and having a calm and rational strategy session. You'll find more about all of this in my forecasts for the Aries full moon and for the month of October, both of which are up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can also book a session with me and sign up for my mailing list. Talk to you next week.